And what's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of that Rampage review show on the Tricology News Talk. I'm your host, Trico Fullerton, and with me is my co-host, Leland. What's up, bro?
Yo, what is good, everybody? Happy Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. So, this week's Rampage is it was kind of in and there, but this Rampage was just a showcase for Wheeler, Utah, and we'll get to that in a second. That was in the main event, but let's get into the first match of the show. Was Bryan Danielson versus Trent Beretta of the Best Friends. So William Regal was on commentary for the opener. So like in the final moments of the match, Danielson locked in a Krev and drove knees into Beretta's head. Danielson went for a pile driver, but Beretta countered with a backdrop. Beretta hit the tornado DDT for the two. Beretta set up Danielson for a top row hurricanrana, but Danielson slipped through the cross and crossed Beretta. Danielson went for the top row backdrop suplex, but Beretta shifted his weight and turned it into a modified bulldog for the near fall. Danielson came back with kicks, but Beretta countered with forearms. Beretta caught Danielson with a half and half suplex and shift lariat for the two. Danielson hit Beretta with a Bushido knee. After Danielson hit a Gotch-style pile driver, Beretta was done. Danielson kicked in Beretta's head and then locked on the invert label lock, which was Danielson basically trying to twist off Beretta's head. And then Danielson got the win for that.
I think this was a really good match. It showed Trent kind of in a different light a little bit, but it is showing like the opposite styles where like Danielson was very direct with his attacks, and I feel like sometimes Trent hit him, but you can feel like the lackadaisical kind of movements in him sometimes, and maybe they're trying to tell that story of, they're not taking it serious enough. But I think this was a really good opening match to Rampage. I was about to call it Dynamite because Rampage felt like a mini episode of Dynamite last night.
Yeah, if you guys remember the promo that Trent Beretta put out on Wednesdays, this past Wednesday's Dynamite, and say he was going to show out tonight, and he did show out in the match. He did
a good job.
Yeah, he did a really good job. But at the end of it, Bryan said pulled it out.
We're at the end. Yeah, definitely. I don't think I'm gonna see Bryan. It's such a catchy name. Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley lose anytime soon in AEW.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
wait, real quick, can you imagine FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club?
Oh my goodness. And
you talk about a hard-hitting match, dude.
But it will be better that not only do you have William Regal out there and the manager on the opposite side, but what if Bret Hart is on the other side with
I mean, you're talking about decades of wrestling knowledge between Bret Hart and William Regal, and to tell a story like a whole story with those six people being Mox, Danielson, Regal, and FTR, Bret Hart, those six guys telling a wrestling story, you can put them on for a year, and I think I'll watch every single match.
Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting in the near future. But let's see Noah tried to interview Hook in the locker room. He was eating Lay's barbecue chips and then left. But when Hook went to throw out the chips, Danielson spring out of the trash can. Dan Helsing tried to cuss Hook again, but he just threw the chips in the trash and then left. This pairing is very funny at times, but I would like to see they can stay on Rampage just for the comedy aspect. But if it was me, I would send those two guys back to ROH or Ring of Honor, so that way not only Hook can get his feet wet over there, Dan Halsey can go back to Ring of Honor and do his thing again when he's back at 100%, because I think he's still on the injury list. I don't know when he's coming back. So he just there in and there for Rampage and Dynamite to do the curse thing until like he's like 100%.
I don't know, but I mean, I see what you're saying. It is kind of an odd pairing between these two, but I think Danhausen can kind of teach Hook a little bit about promos and a little bit about bits, and a little bit about just kind of being a personality on camera. And like having him do more backstage segments like this is going to help him, I think help him in the promo department. But no, Hook, I think, is Rampage biggest star. Like Hook is a star on Rampage. You know what I mean? So I like him being on Rampage because I feel like he's one of the draws for that show.
Do you think Hook needs a mouthpiece, or do you think when the time is right to do his own promos?
It'd have to be the right type of Staten Island type New York mouthpiece. But he went it, I think he might benefit from a mouthpiece. They made him more like, give him a Don King type of guy. Like, shit, I mean, Taz could be his mouthpiece. But no, actually, no, I hate Taz. And I'm like, I like him in commentating, but I hate him on he's doing a promo in front of a crowd. But yeah, he had to get like the right type of mouthpiece.
Yeah, because because I like the idea of Taz being his mouthpiece, but I think he's still stuck in a situation with Team Taz and with Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, and they already got their own issues with Shane Sir Strickland and also Keith Lee and everything else. So it kind of ties up because Team Taz, even though they are heels, but I think they try to build Hook as a babyface character.
I think that's why they distanced him from Hobbs and Starks. Hobbs and Starks, they need to kind of like, I don't know, man. The FTW clan, the FTW gang, I mean, they're just there. They need to put, I think it's time to see the FTW championship on somebody outside of the group. I think that will give me some interest, and that will give me something to watch because this person, they're going to try so hard to get that belt back, And then if whoever wins that FTW belt, the longer they keep it, the more they troll that group, But I think FTW, they need to kind of like really come together or separate. Let Starks be singles and let Hobbs be single. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So Scorpio Sky started cutting a promo in the ring, but it was quickly interrupted by Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. Dan Lambert and Ethan Page ran down Guevara and Conti, and they got cheered for it. Page wanted his daughter, who was asleep right now, because Page is a good dad, to turn out like Conti, and it's Scorpio was an afterthought again. There was even a promo. They say, how you say a freaking what was the word, freaking sextits to Dan Lambert. How you say a sextits in Portuguese? Oh, Dan Lambert. So that was funny there. But my question is that with even though Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti are baby faces, but now putting their relationship out there out there right now, do you see them as the new Cody Rhodes and Brandy?
I mean, it seems like they definitely walked into that spot that they had planned for Cody and Brandy. It looked like Sammy and them walked right into it. Man, the Sammy and Ty situation is odd because we all watched Sammy propose to Pam. So, and we don't know what really happened with that. We just kind of realized, we started hearing rumors and then it was true. And now they're putting their relationship out. They almost feel like heels a little bit. I hate to say it. Like my wife who watches with me, she's Team Pam. So for her, Sammy is a heel at the moment. But they got good heels with All Ego and Scorpio Sky and Dan Lambert. Those guys, I think they get more boos than anybody right now in that company. So They got the perfect heels to go against these kind of people who are kind of skating on thin ice, as far as the crowd is going to rock with them or not.
Yeah, because I feel like they're getting booed for all the wrong reasons. Now, if there was if Sammy and Ty were heels, then they would get booed for the right reasons, and it would make sense. But now they're just getting booed out of nowhere because I know certain times that they don't want relationships being put out there when they go out to work, unless it's in a storyline and they going against someone else who's like a real life couple. So that would make sense in the sense of real couples versus real couple storyline. But like just having to go out there every time, so that's why I feel like they're getting booed out for the wrong reason. We don't want too many relationships being put out there in storylines or like promos and all that stuff.
And the thing is, they look like heels, like they're a young, attractive couple. Like, fuck off. Oh, sorry, I don't want to say that, but be a heel. Like, you need to be. Sammy Guevara needs to be what Shawn Michaels was when he first became the Heartbreak Kid. You see what I'm saying? Like, he can use the fact that he has a hot girlfriend to be a better heel. So the hotter you are, the more better of a heel you can be, because now you can go in the crowd and say, look how much better we are than you. You know what I mean? So I think if Sammy kind of takes on that playboy kind of persona or that lover boy kind of persona, and Ty feeds right into it, they can be a really good like heel group that then can go a couple of years as that, and then just change babyface in a heartbeat, and the crowd will be right with them. You know what I mean? So I think if they kind of took on that persona more, it could work better.
Yeah, even though they make it Scorpio Sky feel like an afterthought, all of this rivalry is for getting another rematch between Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. So this is what all of this about. So is that, and we might possibly see a mixed tag team match between Sammy and Ty versus either Scorpio or Ethan Page, and when Paige Van Zandt makes her debut.
Yeah, I think that's what this is leading up to the most is, and I think honestly, I'd rather watch Paige and Ty go at it than Paige and Brandy, because at least Ty and Paige can communicate on that professional athlete kind of level. They're both legit tough women, who can legit fight. So I think they're going to put on a better match than Paige and Brandy would. In my opinion.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting where that goes. And I don't know if this is a thing now, but Chris Jericho's Sports Entertainment of the Week, I think this is how this happened, and you give it to QT Marshall. Jesus Christ. I don't know.
You know what? He is a great sports entertainer.
I don't know when this became a thing, but I think this is probably going to happen every Rampage. So we had Swerve Strickland versus QT Marshalls. This went 5 minutes. This was nothing. So after they went to commercial, Strickland was in control, landing an elbow to the back. Marshall's head, back of Marshall's head. Marshall hit a pop-up uppercut, then went for the diamond cutter, but Strickland countered. A flatliner and a kick in the back of the head got Strickland for the win. If Tony Khan wants to make Rampage feel more important, then maybe leave the dark matches off the show. So this was just an easy win for Strickland, because I feel like QT Marshall is just there for to take L's to like for the upcoming superstars, and that started with Hook at the buy-in of Revolution.
Yeah, well, I mean, QT Marshall is a trainer. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he does. He trains new talent. So for him to take, the L for a lot of these guys coming up, I think that's the best kind of like role. He's in there helping guys learn some of that I think, he kind of just helps the newer guys come in and get those wins and help them kind of do their matches. Not saying Swerve need that kind of help because he's super professional, but that's the role. But he did a great job, like making Swerve look good. You know what I mean? Like that, like I said, that flip outside of the outside to the apron, like he did a front flip out of the ring. That was hella impressive, like super impressive, and I'm glad I was able to see it. So that was like the coolest moment for that match. Then they showed something that's like technical kind of wrestling as well a little bit. So, but I think there was a good match. I know the live crowd really responded well to it.
Yeah. So after the match, Ricky Starks challenged that Keith Lee and Short Strickland to a tag team match with Powerhouse Hobbs, because I think next week Rampage is going to be in New Orleans, which is Ricky Starks' hometown. So next week they're going to be in the Big Easy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good match. I think I'm looking forward to that match actually.
Yeah, but who do you think is taking the W though? Who's taking the W?
I want Swerve to do it, but I mean, Starks is the heel, and he may have to get that victory, just to get that rivalry going.
So if either Swerve or Keith Lee takes the W, if one of them takes the W for their team, do you think one of them be the one to challenge Ricky Starks for the FTW title?
Maybe that might be interesting. Let's get that FTW title onto somebody else.
Yeah, so that's the way I look at it. If it was, yeah.
I'm afraid.
No, but I definitely think this is going to be a good match between these four guys. It's the baby faces, it's the heels. I'm really impressed with Swerve so far. I think Keith Lee is definitely coming into his own in the organization. So yeah, I think this is going to be hands down a good match. And then you got two small guys and a big, two small guys, two big guys. So it's going to be that good moment where Hobbs and Powerhouse get into the ring at the same time, and then see these guys, jockey for power.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be very interesting for next week's Rampage, and a lot of things got announced, and but we'll get to those in a real second. But we saw a promo of where it was Marky ability of someone who's going to be the next challenger for Jade Cargill. So
yeah, that was. I like how she said, "I wanted to see you solve this problem." I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." That was a good little quick promo, but it was really effective.
Yeah. So next we have Red Velvet versus Willow Niga in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifying match. So the crowd was very behind.
Yeah, the crowd was behind Willow like a lot. And I think we already knew who was going to win. We knew Red Velvet was going to win, but Willow definitely had the crowd support.
In this, but so like in the final moment, Nigel hit the spine buster for the 2. Nigel hit a pound that Velvet totally took like a jam, and a cannonball in the corner for 2. Nigel went for the suplex, but Velvet rolled out of it into a modified backstabber, and then hit another corkscrew kick for the victory. Another corkscrew kick for the victory. The crowd was not very happy, but Velvet did a good job egging on to the crowd and soaking their booze in, like after the match. So Red Velvet qualified for the tournament with the victory. So so right now we have Red Velvet, we have Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm and Carter Sheeta in the tournament right now.
Yeah, I think that so far is looking pretty good. I think I can tell you right now that Red Velvet's not going to win, which is why I think Willow should take the spot. But so far, I think if we got to choose a winner right now, it's Sheeta, because she's the only one that has a real chance of winning for the ladies who has entered so far.
What if it's Serena D and she enters? So you know she's going to end in the tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think if Deeb gets in, like I said, that's what we kind of want the finals to be, But we got to see who all gets in it, because they may drop in some new people out of nowhere.
Yeah, so we still got more quality to come. But during the match, Excalibur ran down the matches for the next few shows, all of them in which already be announced, except for the Samoan Joe versus Masaru Suzuki for the ROH TV title for this upcoming Dynamite. I cannot wait for it.
Dude, that is ridiculous that we're going to see that match.
Bruh, can you imagine the hard-hitting matchup in that matchup?
Yeah, that is going to be something to look forward to, definitely. I can't even think about what that match is going to be like.
Yeah, and then an interview Tony Nese, but this was interrupted by Mark Sterling, who offered Nese to representation. Started doing the talking for Nese. Wasn't a bad idea for all. So I probably could see a pairing with Mark Sterling and Tony Nese. Now Mark Sterling is already managing Jay Cargill, so he needs a male superstar to manage to try to take to the top.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not? Tony Nese is a hell of a talent. I hate to see him get lost in the shuffle like he did over there.
Yeah, so that's gonna be very interesting. And main event promo time. Wheeler Yuta had the ROH Pure Championship over the shoulder and thinks the third time against Moxley is the charm. So that they faced twice before, and I think Moxley was victorious in all of them. But Moxley wasn't there to show Yuta respect. He is there to spear Yuta's guts all over the mat. And before you know it, Marguerite said, it's time for the main event.
Hey, this match right here, boy, oh boy. I mean, I think Yuta is getting some fans.
Yes, well, remember we talked about on that with Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, MJF, Jungle Boy, and we talked about Warlow, of how Tony Khan is building the future for these upcoming guys that haven't have their moment in spotlight. And last night was Wheeler Yuta's night.
Yeah, this was definitely, he lost, but he won. He got respect. At the end of the match, Moxley said, now the real work begins. I mean, the dude was bleeding all over the place. Did you see that picture that Bryan Danielson tweeted this morning?
Yep.
With the blood squirted out. I mean, oh man. But no, Wheeler was doing some really cool moves. There was a couple of things he did on there that I had to rewind and watch again. It was like, whoa, that was incredible. But he has a really unique style. His style is really like, when he grapples, he really gets in with you, and he kind of does some awkward kind of, moves. And it is interesting to see his style develop with these guys that he's about to be rolling with, assumingly in this. But he has a title on him now. It makes him a little bit more of a standout. And he's the peer champion of ROH. That's a big deal. So yeah, I think Yuta is about to get a good push. He's about to be a new young talent. Might have to add in a fifth pillar.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be in that fifth. But in the final moments of the match, Moxley was all in the cut, but it was all back and forth, and Yuta even kicked out of the Paradise Shift, and Moxley was like, "What the heck just
Twice.
happened?" Yeah, but it was named the Death Rider. It was kind of like a high angle version of the Paradigm Shift and got the two. But then after Yuta kicked out of that, Moxley locked in another Bulldog choke for that, and then finally got the win. I mean, this was absolutely fantastic. So after the match, William Regal and Bryan Danielson came down. Bloody Yuta made to his feet, and Regal extended his hand to Yuta. Yuta accepts the handshake, and it seems that everyone in the Blackpool Combat Club has accepted Yuta. Yuta painted his initials BTC onto his chest with his own blood, and Moxley told him, "Now the real work begins."
That's crazy. I feel like this was like the start of like a Bullet Club type team, not like so anti-establishment and break all the rules, but that kind of faction that feel like can be passed on to different wrestlers. Like it's not gonna die. Like the spirit of the group will stay strong, and this is something that's gonna be a hell like a just a stable that's around, like a New Japan type stable, where it's like 25 years old.
Yeah, so this is very interesting. So the way I see it, I see um, Bryant and Moxley being the veterans of the group, and then try to find younger stars like Utah to be the future in the group. So you have you have Bryant and Moxley being the veterans in the group, and then you have William Regal being the wise man and the manager, the leader in the group, and then you have Utah and another group to be the evolution of that badass members of the Blackpool Combat Club. That's the way I see this going forward, because I think they're gonna get another person to join them to join that club. And Yuta was just the start.
Yeah, because it looks like it looks like the initiation to this club is pretty brutal.
Yeah, the only time is just the game. It's just a matter of who's going to be next. When Brian Danielson got a program about other people, you talked about Lee Martinardi. That could be another person. Like all the stars that Brian mentioned before Revolution, all these people that he mentioned before he teamed up with Moxley. So it's just a matter of who's going to be joining next.
I think, yeah, that's the next thing, right? Who's going to be next, And it's just, like I said, I think this faction has got some real strong foundation in it. I think it's going to be one of those groups we see for like the history of wrestling, like if they keep it going and it feels that way, like, because to get in that group, you got to bleed. And to get in that group, you got to fight. And to get in that group, you might get choked out a couple of times.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that, we saw a promo showing that next week Rampage will be live, and the main event of that match will be Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole in a Texas Death match for the AEW World Title.
I think that's going to be a good one. We're going to see some cowboy shiznit.
Oh yeah.
And then I think Adam Cole and them always put on a good match, so I don't think nothing to worry about there, but just sit back and get entertained.
Yeah, but other than that, this Rampage was pretty good, with not only a fantastic opener and a fantastic main event as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I like this Rampage. I watch Rampage at 10 a.m. in the morning when I get it, like, when I'm like just getting up and get breakfast and everything. So I watched it at 10 a.m. this morning. It was like, holy crap, I am excited. So that was that episode got me jazzed up for my day this morning.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and we can't wait for the next couple of weeks for the next couple of shows. And but that's our episode for today, and we'll see y'all next week for the Dynamite review. But until then, he's Leland, and I'm Trico, and we're signing off.
Peace.